Here are some things that should be added into Grow a Garden that might actually save the game. These are things that have been requested by the community for months and months. In fact, some of these have already been implemented into the game, so today we're going to be talking about each and every one of these things to find out what might actually save Grow a Garden. As always, drop a like and subscribe if you guys go on to agree with any of these points. Anyways, watch this video all the way to the end to see if you guys actually want to see these things added into the game. Anyways, the first thing that I think all of us want to see in the game is a button to get us teleported to the gear shop and the egg shop right up here. In fact, this has already been implemented into the game, but for some reason, the update has only rolled out to a couple of people, and I guess they're just testing out the update to see if people actually like it. But as you guys can see from this poll that Adrian did, majority of the people actually love this update. I'm not sure why these 1,500 people don't like it, but 12,300 people voted yes, which is almost like a 90+% of the player base wanting this feature to actually be added into Grow a Garden, so I really hope we see this in the game very soon. Currently in Grow a Garden, you can only have 5 people in a server. That's right, even though we have 6 plots inside of the game, you can only have 5 people in a particular server. This was something that was added into the game a very long time ago, because there was a glitch where someone could delete your garden if there was 6 people inside of your server. Of course, this glitch has now been fixed, but to this day, you can only have 5 people inside of a Grow a Garden server. So why not go ahead and just remove the useless 6 slot and just make it so we can only have maybe like 4 slots inside of a server. Meaning that we'll only be able to have 4 people inside of a Grow a Garden server, but hear me out, those 4 people are gonna have a much bigger plot. Meaning your plot will be a lot bigger, plus you'll also be closer to the event, you'll also be closer to the gear shop, because obviously your plot is bigger, so you probably spawn like somewhere around here. This will just make it so servers are a little bit more active, I guess, and the server will also just feel a little less empty because there's always an empty plot inside of every single server. Plus, we'll also be closer to all of the gear shops and the sell shops and whatnot, which is always a good welcome. This was actually a feature that was gonna be added into Grow a Garden, and a lot of people actually liked it, but the devs never really added it, so I really want to see it actually make a comeback and be added into the game. Now, the next one has kind of sort of been fixed, but I think they kind of need to improve on it a little bit more. Give us more ways of upgrading our inventory. I mean, currently you can upgrade your inventory through the Ascension shop, and if you guys go ahead and make yourself a bunch of pet pouches. But what if they add a third way, which is to do with the OG method of getting more pet slots, which is through right here. Give us even more options to go ahead and get extra pet slots from here, which would be a very good alternative for people who hate crafting and people who hate ascending, so they can just go ahead and age up a bunch of pets and get themselves a bunch of pet slots that way. Speaking of more pet slots, can we please talk about cosmetics? Cosmetics are a absolute mess right now. It feels like they added cosmetics to the game and just completely stopped caring about it. Cosmetics are so freaking cool. I wish they expanded it a little bit more, like giving us infinite cosmetic space. I mean, it does not make sense to limit the amount of cosmetics you can have. I understand for lag reasons they can't have infinite cosmetic spaces, but maybe just go ahead and increase the amount of cosmetic spaces we can have, just so more people can build more creative things in their gardens, and it just gives people a alternative way to play the game, which is always a very good thing. Next up, stealing. This has been an issue in Grow a Garden for a very long time. Of course, we got ourselves the favorite tool inside of the gear shop here, but as you guys know, the favorite tool is useless. Even if you favorite a plant, there is still a chance someone can steal it with Robux. The favorite tool is just useless is what I'm trying to say, so how about you actually make it useful? Make it so people can't steal our fruits if they are favorited. Maybe add a different gear that is like a little bit harder to obtain. Maybe you have to craft it or something, I don't know, but just make it so it's easier to actually not have your fruit stolen, so people don't just hang out in private servers and actually try and play in public servers, which again is gonna make the game feel a lot more alive. This is also a major reason why people just quit. I mean, imagine spending days and days working on a fruit, getting a bunch of mutations on it, and then you join a public server accidentally and some child just steals it for 39 Robux. It's an absolute waste of time, and honestly, I don't see why this is still in the game. Speaking of waste of time, can we please make it so it's easier to age up pets a lot faster? I mean, yeah, now you can age your pets offline, like you can feed your pets and then just go offline and they'll continue to age, but it still takes days and days, even with something like capybaras to age up your pets. So I really wished that the Growing Garden devs would do something about this. I mean, sure, you guys are giving us a lot more lollipops and whatnot, but again, it just doesn't make any sense. Just make it so it's a lot easier to age up pets, because honestly, it would make things so much better for people who don't want to waste days and days trying to age up a pet. Especially in situations like the brand new Safari Joe update where we need aged pets and giant pets. It just doesn't make sense to give them out for free to this guy to get maybe like a freaking crate or something. It just doesn't make any sense. So please make it easier to actually age your pets. Now that we've talked about a few things that need to be added to the game, let's talk about something that needs to be removed from Grow a Garden, and this is of course shekel trading. If you guys didn't know, using a trading ticket, you can trade shekels with anyone you want. And there is no limit to this. You can trade as much shekels as you want with anyone. And obviously, to anyone over the age of like 13 can realize that this is an issue, right? Imagine you are a new player in Grow a Garden. You have no sense of what this game is, and some kid just comes up to you and just gives you a quintillion shekels for completely free. Are you gonna continue playing this game? No, because now you have basically completed the entire game. You might just go AFK and buy every single seed from the seed shop. There is no other point of playing the game anymore. And this is the issue we have right now in Grow a Garden. The game is just too easy for beginners. And because of this sense of easiness, a lot of people are just not playing the game for too long. Once again, I might be completely wrong here. Please feel free to correct me in the comments down below, but personally, I think shekel trading is the single reason why Grow a Garden has seen such a decline in its player base. So please devs, get it out of the game or put a limit on it or something. I don't know, bro, but it needs to be taken out of the game. It's not a good idea. Speaking of trading though, you guys probably joined a server and some child just comes up to you and tries to trade with you even though you don't really want to trade. Obviously, you can go ahead and turn it off inside of the settings. You can go ahead and turn off trade requests, but sometimes you don't want to do this because, you know, you forget to turn it back on. It just gets really annoying when 5 different people come and try trade with you in the span of 10 minutes, even though you're just trying to play the game. And for this reason, I think we should get a trading hub. Basically, a completely separate game. Well, not a completely separate game, but a branch of Grow a Garden where people can go ahead and trade. You can make a stall where you go ahead and put up a bunch of things you want to trade. For example, your pets, your seed, your fruits, maybe even your cosmetic items. That would be pretty cool. Something like Please Donate. If you guys have ever played Please Donate, you could have a stall, and then inside of that stall you can showcase everything you're trying to trade. This would not only separate trading from the main game and put it in a completely separate area, so, you know, trading doesn't just become Grow a Garden, and Grow a Garden remains, you know, growing a garden, which it's supposed to be, but it also gives all of the traders a place to go ahead and do their trading, while all of the regular players can stay in regular servers and play the game like they regularly want to. Honestly, I think this is something that we need. Once again, let me know in the comments if you think I'm right. Now, speaking of trading, please give us the ability to trade something like cosmetics, because honestly, this is something that we need, and please give us the ability to trade seeds. I know this is a little bit controversial and people don't want to be able to trade seeds, but usually these are the people who have exclusive seeds that they don't want anyone else having. Now, of course, if trading seeds does get added to the game, the devs need to be very careful to prevent duping, because if duping gets involved, then the entire economy of the game is gonna crash completely. So let's hope that there is no duping. Wow, the game just got really dark, what the hell. But I think trading seeds should come to the game now, or at least in the future, because honestly, this is something that players want, and it's also gonna give players finally the opportunity to get seeds that they previously couldn't obtain. I feel like this is gonna bring back a lot of old players who just wanted to get all the seeds, such as the infamous Candy Blossom. So honestly, I think trading seeds should be added to the game, but again, duping and dupers need to be taken care of before this is added into the game, or it's gonna cause absolute chaos. Now, speaking of old events and old seeds, how about we bring back old events themselves? For example, something like the Easter event, how about we bring it back into the game at some point? Instead of giving us weekly updates like this, maybe the devs could actually do something where they rotate older events that are voted by the community to come back into the game. This gives us the opportunity to play older events that have been previously removed from the game, and it also makes old players who, you know, just want to feel the nostalgia to come back and join the game and actually play it and enjoy the event they once loved. This system could work something like the merchant system we already have in the game. So just like the merchant, these events are gonna maybe cycle through every single day, or maybe every single week, who knows? Just like admin abuses, maybe we could get these events every single week for maybe 3 or 4 hours so people could grind them. And honestly, this is gonna make the game feel a lot more fresh, a lot more content, without a lot of effort from the devs. This is something the devs should genuinely try, and I think they should really add this into the game. And since we are talking about events, how about you guys go ahead and decorate the map a little bit more whenever there's an event. For example, the safari event right here, maybe they could go ahead and add a bunch of safari themed things around the map, just make the map feel a whole lot, you know, safari. Maybe add a few trees that are themed just like this, these safari trees right here, all around the map. It would honestly just give the map a better vibe, and it would honestly feel like the update is major, you know? Speaking of which, please bring back cutscenes. If you guys did not know, Growing Garden used to have cutscenes before every single update. And honestly, these cutscenes were so hype, bro. People absolutely love these. Obviously, they took a very long time to make, but they were so much fun. Growing Garden devs, please bring back cutscenes. This is something that people want and people love. So please bring it back. It's gonna make the game so much better. Now let's go ahead and move over to the garden guide. The concept of the garden guide is honestly pretty cool, but right now I feel like this thing is missing a lot of things. For example, if I go ahead and click on something like acorn here, I wish it would show me what the base price of an acorn is. Sure, it shows me what the best mutations I've got on it, the most valuable acorns I've got, and the heaviest acorns I've got, but I have nothing to compare that against. I have to go over to the Growing Garden wiki and actually see what a base acorn weighs and how much it actually sells for. So I really wish that Growing Garden devs would just completely just add that into the game itself, because it would honestly make things so much easier, and I wouldn't have to keep on tabbing out to go to the Growing Garden wiki, which by the way, some people don't even know the wiki exists. So this would honestly make the game so much better and give people that extra feel of accomplishment every single time they get a huge acorn or something, you know? So devs, please try and add this into the game. I know it's gonna be a lot of work to do so, but it'll honestly make getting bigger and more valuable plants so much more satisfying. Same goes for something like pets and cosmetics, of course. And of course, mutations. I mean, they already have the money multiplier of mutations here, so maybe we could get something similar to this in the plant section. Next up, achievements. Achievements are pretty cool because for completing them, you get some pretty neat rewards. But completing them is such a freaking grind. I like the idea of mini achievements that they have in the game here, but maybe they should go ahead and make a new section called daily achievements. And for completing these daily achievements, maybe you could get a mega lollipop or something, and this will just give people an incentive to actually join every single day and complete these daily achievements. Of course, don't make these daily achievements impossible, like growing a pet to level 50 or something. It's not fun, right? Make these achievements actually fun, something you can do with friends or something, like harvesting a bunch of plants, maybe planting a bunch of plants, maybe trying to get a plant that is a certain size or a certain mutation. That's fun, right? AFKing in the game for 5 hours trying to get a pet to age 50 is not fun, so let's not add that into the game, devs, please. And the final thing I want to go ahead and talk about is pay to win. Believe it or not, Growing Garden is sort of pay to win, because right now if you go into the shop and you direct your eyes right here to the premium safari egg, or of course the exotic safari seed pack, you guys will see two sets of numbers. The first set of numbers is the percentage charge for you guys to actually go ahead and get the item. For example, the daisy is a 40% chance to get from the exotic safari seed pack, and above that you will get another number which is usually highlighted in blue. Now this number highlighted in blue is actually the pity system. If you guys don't know what a pity system is, basically for this daisy, if you guys go ahead and open 4 exotic seed packs, you have a guaranteed chance to get the daisy. If you guys go ahead and open 6 safari seed packs, you have a guaranteed chance to get the bamboo right here. I really like the pity system. In fact, I was one of the first YouTubers to go ahead and talk about adding the pity system to the game. We really needed this in the game, and I'm glad that the devs finally listened and added this a few months back. But here's the problem, they only added it to the paid seed pack, not to the free seed pack. And I'm pretty sure they only added the pity system to the exotic safari seed pack because they wanted to not be considered a gambling game. That's pretty much why. So of course they had the alternative motives for adding this, but I really hope they actually add a pity system to regular seed packs that you can obtain from the event itself. It's not fair that someone has to open 1,000 safari eggs to get an elephant, where another person can get an elephant in 4 eggs. It just doesn't make any sense. So please add a pity system to the regular eggs to make it fair and stop with this pay to to win stuff. Please, devs, it's just very, very cheap. But that's some of the things I hope to see in Grow a Garden, and that's some of the things I personally think might save Grow a Garden from the downfall it's going through right now. If you guys have any other tips, please let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Like, subscribe, peace out.